All right. The name is Dale, doing the album review for the new Nas, and it's called Magic. This album review is done on behalf of Audio Liquor Magazine. All right, Nas has put out three quality albums within 2 years. I think that's the most output he has done in his whole career within that short of a time span. Hit Boy did all the production again on his new Magic album. They seem to be in the bag. They seem to have a great chemistry together now. Hit Boy must have put the battery in Nas back, because I've never seen him put out this much material. I mean, Nas went 6 years in between Life is Good that came out in 2012, and then went almost 6 years, then put out the joint he did with Kanye West called Nasir in 2018. So Nas has been known to take breaks, long gaps. He was never known for putting out an album every year, even when that was fashionable. When Jay-Z and the rest of them was putting out an album a year, he was never known for doing that, even though he did have a Nostradamus and the I Am album come out, I think, in the same year back then. But Nostradamus is considered one of his worst albums. But this output he's doing now is very high quality. And Nas has 16 solo albums, and I'm including the 2 Lost Tape joints in that 16. Nas won a Grammy for King Disease, the first King Disease album, which I'm not mad at, even though I thought the album was solid. I thought it was B-, B kind of grade in that area, that a high B- to a low B, kind of in that area of grading. I think they gave it to him as a Lifetime Achievement Award, basically, because he's been nominated so many times and never won the award. But I actually thought Royce the 5'9" Allegory and Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist album Alfredo were much better albums that year. I thought even one of those should have won. One of those albums should have won over him, but like I said, I'm not mad at it, because it was a solid album. But I heard in a recent interview that Hit Boy did, I forgot the podcast or YouTube show that I heard it on, where Hit Boy said when he first started working with Nas, the idea was to do a Valentine's album, a Valentine's EP. So the initial songs for the first King Disease was supposed to be songs for a Valentine's EP album or EP. So that kind of explains why I don't think as highly of King Disease 1 as King Disease 2 or Magic, because they started off with a lot of songs catered to females, catered to love and relationships. And most of those songs on that album dealing with that subject, I did not care for, because they had more of a commercial sound to it that I wasn't really digging. So that kind of explained why King Disease, the first King Disease, even though it won a Grammy, is not nearly as strong as King Disease 2. And I did a review for King Disease 2, which you can find on YouTube. King Disease 2, which came out in 2021, which we're still in. Maybe when this is going online, it won't be 2021, but I thought King Disease 2 was the best album of this year. But this Magic joint is almost as good as King Disease 2. Without the filler, really at all. It's shorter. It only has 9 songs. I'm gonna go into all the tracks, not in heavy detail, but enough detail to give you an idea of how I feel about the album and what you should expect from the album if you haven't heard it already. The first track is called Speechless. I really dig the production. It's some cosmic soul shit. Nas lyrics are Mount Rushmore level shit on this joint. You got another track called Meet Joe Black. More cosmic soul. The title of this song is from an old Brad Pitt movie. And a little FYI, my folks Charles Brown, who is another great rap artist, another artist of high lyrical integrity. He made a song called Joe Black back in like the early 2000s to mid 2000s. So he was way ahead of Nas with this title for a song. Just want to give him his credit for that. And you got another track on this joint called Ugly. It's ugly outside. That's part of the hook, part of the lyrics. Great song, I like it. And you got another track called 4016 Building. Head nod music, I dig it. Nas goes in. And you got another track called Hollywood Gangster. Now I thought this song was the weakest part of the album. I thought it was just okay. It's not a bad song by no means. It's just okay. I tend to skip it. But this is the only song on the album I tend to skip. But like I said, it's not a bad song. Just, man, just okay. Then you got another track called Woo Is For The Children, which was famously said by Old Dirty Bastard, rest in peace, ODB. I think he said at the Grammys. And I love the fact that Nas turned that into a title of a song. No drums, but the heavy bass line makes up for that. Some soulful shit. Really dig the lyrics. And you got another track called Wave Gods, featuring what's his name? I forgot his name. ASAP Rocky. Yeah, that's his name. And it also features DJ Premier, who's scratching on the joint. Love hearing cuts and scratches on songs. We don't get enough of that nowadays. Not nearly enough of that nowadays. It's like almost extinct to a certain extent. But I thought ASAP Rocky was just okay. He was okay. I'm not too, of course I know who he is, but I'm not too familiar with his music. I never heard a whole album from him, but I thought he was just okay. He wasn't bad. I'm not mad at Nas for featuring him on this joint. Then you got another track called The Truth, which is a banger. Lyrics are top notch. Then you got another song called Dedicated. Nice way to end the album. Love the beat switch up. Great song. Nas lyrics are high level as usual. He drops gems, it's introspective, grown man shit. When you listen to or purchase a Nas album, you getting it for the lyrics first and foremost, above anything. But the production is just as nice as well. But the lyrics carry this, but the production is strong, don't get me wrong, but his lyrics really carry this album. I'm very surprised he dropped another album that quick, because I think King Disease 2 came out probably around the end of summer, if I'm not mistaken, or around the end of summer. So this is a very quick turnaround. I thought maybe going into it's gonna be like a throwaway joint, like maybe a Lost Tape type of situation. And I love the first Lost Tape album, so there's no disrespect to the Lost Tape album, but I thought maybe it's something that didn't make the album and they decided to put out. But no, this is new material. He's talking about updated shit, like the death of Young Dolph and all that. So these ain't no joints that didn't make the cut. So if you don't have it, get it. I highly recommend it. I give this joint a A-. I was thinking a strong B+, but after listening to it a little bit more, I'm gonna give it an A-. It's not as good as King Disease 2. Now I was listening to a podcast, I think it was According to Hip Hop, they were saying that they thought it was better than King Disease 2. I disagree with them on that. And they were saying this Magic album is a classic. I disagree with them too on that. I'm not going, if anybody was to say it is a classic, I'm not going to debate them. I just don't agree with it, but I wouldn't debate them. I wouldn't fault them feeling that way because it is a very strong album, but I don't think it's a classic. I think we tend to use that word a little too much. Get that title to too much things a little too early and a little too much in this atmosphere we in now. So, and they made a good analogy with Nas. They said Nas is like Tom Brady going to the Buccaneers. And I agree with that. With this resurgence of his career, you could say, because he got a lot of shit for the Nasir album, mostly due to Kanye not bringing his A game to the production. But him and Hit Boy are in a bag. They just got this connection is working. I think had they went into King Disease 1 with the So I Did It just making an album and it wasn't starting off as some Love EP, I think that album would have been much stronger. So I'm gonna give him a little pass on that. Not to say that King Disease 1 is bad, but it doesn't even compare to King Disease 2 and this Magic album. So with that being said, I'm out, I'm finished. There you have it.